You type a message into ChatGPT, it replies in seconds. Feels intelligent, sounds right. But here's what nobody talks about. You are trusting a tool you can't explain. As a developer, that should bother you. Because you wouldn't push code to production without understanding what it does. So why are you doing that with AI? In this video, I will show you what exactly happens when you hit send. From your words to the model to the response. No PhD, no research paper, no jargon at all. 3 layers explained simply: deep learning, transformer, and how ChatGPT put it all together. By the end, you will be able to explain this to anyone else. I'm a software developer with 5+ years of experience. I use ChatGPT and Claude every single day. But few weeks ago, I couldn't really explain how ChatGPT works, and it really hit me hard, and I tried to learn about it. And I am sharing it today. I hope someone else explain me this way. It should be simple, honest, nothing pretending to be an expert. Before going, there's one thing I discovered that really surprised me. It changed how I think about AI completely. I'll get to it in few moments, but first, we need to start at the bottom. For decades, computer followed rules like a programmer wrote, if user types X, respond with Y. Clean, predictable, but completely rigid. But language doesn't follow rules. I am fine can mean happy or completely opposite. So writing rules for every possible sentence, it's impossible. Now you might be thinking, then does how AI handle it? The answer, it doesn't follow rules at all. It learns from example, millions and millions of examples. Deep learning is just this idea. Show a computer example, it figure out the patterns out of it. Like a child learn language. Nobody teaches a child grammar rules first. They hear thousands of sentences and pattern emerged naturally. So ChatGPT didn't get programmed to understand you. It learned to understand you. And I repeat, ChatGPT didn't get programmed to understand you. It's learned to understand you. By reading more text than any human ever could. That's deep learning. No rules, no programming, just learning from data. But there was a problem. Deep learning alone wasn't enough. Early AI models read sentence word by word, just left to right, which is called RNN, recurrent neural networks. By the time they reached the end of a sentence, they had almost forgotten the beginning. But language doesn't work that way. Take this sentence. The trophy didn't fit into the suitcase because it's too big. What does it refers to? The trophy, not the suitcase, right? You knew that instantly because your brain read the entire sentence, not just word by word. Old AI model couldn't do that. So in 2027, the four Google researcher asked a simple question. What if the model could read everything at once? What if instead of reading left to right, it could look every word and ask, what other words in this sentence actually matters to me right now? This exact idea becomes a paper called The Attention is All You Need, and it gave birth to the transformer. Remember, I said something surprised me. Here it is, and honestly, when I just understand what they just built, I stopped for a moment. The researcher didn't just fix a bug, they really solved a fundamental problem, one layer at a time. And what came out of it changed everything. The paper has been cited 170,000 times. It's one of the 10 most cited papers in 21st century, and the most people is ChatGPT today have never heard about it. The architecture they built, the transformer which powers ChatGPT, and that's the moment I mentioned earlier. GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. The name tells exactly what it is, and nobody pointed that out, they're just using it. So how does actually attention works? Let's think about it. Every word in a sentence give other word a scope. How closely related are these two words? Trophy and big, high score. Suitcase and it, low score. The model uses those codes to understand the context, not one word at a time, all at once. So what does the transformer actually do? Think of it this way. When you say the trophy is big, the transformer gives every word a score. How much does trophy relate to big, and how much does it relate to trophy? It calculates the attention and what to focus on. And it does this across the entire sentence simultaneously. That's why it understands the context. That's the engine. But there was still one more problem. A model that understands language, it's not the same one that is helpful. So now we have deep learning, learn from examples, and the transformer, read everything with attention. Therefore, we can build a model that understands language. But understanding isn't enough. Reading the whole internet doesn't automatically make you good at conversation. Think about it. If I read every book ever written, I still might be terrible at answering questions. Because answering question is a different skill. So ChatGPT does something clever. After training ChatGPT with a massive amount of text, they brought in human trainers, real people who rated the response. This answer is helpful, this one is harmful, this one doesn't make any sense. The model learned from those readings. This process is called RLHF, reinforcement learning from human feedback. That's what turned the language model to a really helpful assistant. Now you might ask, does ChatGPT really knows things? It doesn't retrieve facts from database. It just predicts what words comes next, based on everything it learned. When it's right, it seems intelligent. When it's wrong, it sounds completely confident anyway. That's why it hallucinates, not because it's broken, but because it's always predicting, never looked up. So now let's stress what exactly happened when you type a message. For example, you just type explain recursion simply. First thing, your text can break into tokens, small pieces, words, or parts of words, like explain, recur, shown, simply. Then each token becomes number, because transformer works with number, not with words. Finally, the transformer runs attention. It looks at every token and calculates relationships. Like explain and simply are closely related. Recursion is the subject here, which is get more attention. So this way, model predicts the next word, and then next, and then next. One token at a time until response gets complete. That's it. No magic, no consciousness, no internet lookup. Just pattern, attention, and prediction. Something shifts when you understand this. ChatGPT stops feeling like a black box and starts feeling like something you can actually reason about. So when it's wrong, you will know why, and when it's right, you will understand how. If you watched the last video of this channel about cleansing text before it enters into an AI model, tokenization, stop words, all of that, that's literally step one of what I just showed you. The clean text becomes tokens. The tokens becomes number, and this number goes to the transformer. It's one continuous pipeline. And now you have seen both ends of it. Next video, I'm going one level deeper into this. You can drop a comment which part you want next. Maybe how the attention mechanism, how actually calculate those codes. Anyway, your answer is at the next video. Just remember, ChatGPT doesn't thinking, it's just predicting. And somehow, most of the time, that is enough.